Hi guys, this is Hadi from Manual and welcome to Shower Thoughts, a video podcast series in conjunction with the launch of Loza collection designed by Alvinti for Toto. Through this video series, we'll be chatting with three figures and exploring how simple daily routines can stimulate self-reflection to boost creativity and clarity.
Hi,
Semarang.
how are
I'm
you?
good. Thank you so much. Please have a seat.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for coming. Maybe a little bit of introduction gitu. Why are we doing this in a bathroom? Karena memang in conjunction with the Loza series launch, designed by Alvinti for Toto. All you see kayak keran-keran sini, beberapa bagian di sini itu memang didesain especially by Alvinti for Toto gitu. And we all agree that in the middle of this noisy and super busy world that we live in, especially in your work, in my work, it's always very appreciated gitu when we have time to retreat, to come back in and just to be ourselves alone gitu kan. And sometimes it's not always about kayak harus liburan kemana gitu, tapi in those precious time of showering bahkan ketika kita sendiri gitu kan, it's such a precious time for us to self-reflect, to be alone. We want to know kayak how important is self-reflection to you really, and how do you usually apply it to your creative outputs gitu. Makanya we are in the bathrooms. But I think first of all mungkin introduction sedikit kali ya about who you are, what do you do. Mungkin audience kita tahu Asmara Abigail as an actress gitu, tapi she's a dancer too, she's a designer too gitu kan, mungkin nggak semua orang tahu. So could you introduce a bit about what you do and what are you busy with right now?
Well, actor or actress is my professional work. I'm not a professional dancer, but I did some trainings.
Okay.
Previous trainings for different kind of roles, from films to performance, live performance. Dan lama-lama jadi makin terasa dan emang aku suka gitu. Dari kecil aku udah les beberapa tarian tradisional, terus jazz ballet, terus begitu aku lulus kuliah, I took some tango Argentine, flamenco, pole dance. I just love it. It's one of my hobby.
So many forms of it.
And I enjoy more dancing classes rather than going to the gym. Aku selalu terkesima sama badan penari sih dari dulu gitu. Jadi kayak dari hobi, working out juga, terus habis itu supporting my acting career juga gitu. Karena aku juga suka banget acting yang minim dialog sebenarnya. Kayak kalau nggak perlu di translate dengan dialog, kita udah bisa kasih dengan muka, emosi dan bahasa tubuh. Menurut aku kayak you already nailed it gitu. Jadi menurut aku itu membantu banget jadi kelas-kelas tari tersebut. Terus I did study fashion di Milan gitu. I got my master degree 2014 in marketing and branding for luxury product. Terus I just launched a lamp designed by my friend Adin Ibrahim. Kita sama-sama di Milan. Aku seneng banget bisa kerjasama dengan Adin, dan karena teman-teman aku juga banyak yang di bidang kreatif, kita bisa kerjasama dan menghasilkan sesuatu bersama. Menurut aku itu juga sesuatu yang bikin aku happy gitu.
Nice. I mean, that's a lot of portfolio loh, Asmara. Congratulations. Tapi let's going back to our initial discussion gitu. Maksudnya I'm imagining myself if I were you gitu ya, dimana kayak it feels very noisy gitu loh, kayak the acting part and the dancing part and then the product designing part gitu. How important do you think a self reflection as a routine gitu, as a ritual to you, and how does it influence your creative output gitu?
I think it's very important. Kayak we are so busy chasing our dreams, working, memorizing script, making our own schedule, getting from one point to the others gitu kan. Kadang-kadang punya waktu buat diri sendiri just to stay still and breathe, itu susah banget kan. Maksudnya kadang-kadang kita bangun juga udah langsung buru-buru kan.
Betul.
Aku coba banget begitu bangun kayak at least 5 minutes kayak breathwork, meditation walaupun cuma sebentar gitu, atau begitu di kamar mandi, under the shower, karena the water helps a lot kan, the running water gitu. Karena itu kayak source of inspiration kayak, karena menurut aku kamar mandi adalah tempat paling gampang kita dekat dengan running waters kan. Jadi kayak kalau kita nggak ada waktu ke pantai atau ke air terjun, kita ada shower. Atau bathtub.
It's worth it to invest ya, invest di shower sama bathtub yang oke ya.
Gitu.
Okay, can you share a little bit about kayak biasanya nih, karena of course I do have some other actor friends juga gitu kan, and to me it's very interesting karena in this line of profession kalian itu dealing sama emotions. Kayak tadi seperti Asmara bilang pakai bahasa tubuh, raut muka, itu tuh kadang banyak yang udah bisa dikomunikasikan gitu, and then that's how you know you nailed it kan. So is there any ritual sebelum performance gitu, sebelum memorizing script that you know maybe not a lot of people knows that this is what you do to kayak self-reflect and then go back, retreat and just kayak get yourself together gitu. Is there any certain ritual?
At least kayak kita pasti we do our homework of gitu course, kan, learning the script, kita udah workshop, kita udah big table reading atau kayak reading yang lebih personal one-on-one sama coworkers atau sama director gitu kan. Tapi aku pasti punya support dari kayak bahan-bahan yang lain, misalnya kayak cari film-film yang membantu aku atau kayak nonton teater yang bisa mensupport atau kayak lagi ada pameran seni apa nih, mungkin bisa mendapat inspirasi dari kayak paintings atau any other form of art. Nah, begitu biasanya udah masuk set, terus ada kayak there's a split second kayak waiting for the camera to roll, and then the director will say action. Walaupun itu cuma berapa detik ya, cuman kayak itu pasti aku diem banget, terus kayak atur napas, terus just set your mind into it, dan kayak you're becoming gitu. Dan itu menurut aku proses itu sangat sakral, dan itu kayak transforming into another dimension, kayak you enter the story gitu, you enter the character.
Of course. Man, tapi that's not an easy task to do. Man. I think that's one thing I always believe people has misperception, a conception about what acting is gitu kan. Jadi kayak yaudah pura-pura nangis, pura-pura ketawa gitu kan. Tapi the more I know more of the industry friends gitu, the more I know how sacred it is and how important it is of a responsibility to bring gitu. And I have such a newfound respect sih gitu for actors and actresses. It's like I always think it's a tip of an iceberg gitu ya. What people see is the tip, tapi kan sebenarnya di bawah itu kalian udah do your research, workshops.
It's another journey gitu. Makanya kan kadang-kadang juga kayak kita suka lihat lah dari berita-berita, banyak juga aktor yang nggak bisa in and out of the character-nya smooth. Makanya kayak Daniel Day-Lewis tiba-tiba jadi tukang sepatu lah di Itali.
Method. The real method.
Itu justru dia kalau mau ninggalin dari, misalnya dia udah selesai syuting, dia jadi tukang domba atau tukang sepatu. Kayak itu malah hobinya dia.
Oh gitu, jadi lengket gitu.
Jadi kayak biar dia punya kegiatan lain yang di luar hingar-bingar keaktoran gitu.
Maybe that's how he self-reflects and get his own personal character.
In a little city in Italy kayak.
Will you do that? Will you do that eventually maybe after certain project?
I do another things kayak misalnya ngambil kelas surfing, ngambil kelas piano. Aku sekarang juga lagi ngambil kelas tango lagi. Jadi kayak that's my therapy lah. Gitu.
That's interesting. Okay, let's go a bit into that a bit deeper later. Tapi I want to explore on your latest venture dulu nih. Latest adventure I would say. La Luce di Asmara.
La Luce di Asmara.
Bener gak sih gue ngomongnya bener ya?
Bener.
Okay. Do you mind sharing a bit more on the creative processes behind it gitu? Karena kan I understand you work with your friend tadi namanya siapa? Adin, right?
Adin
Ibrahim, the product designer kan. Tapi how is it that your soul is being included gitu in this project that you call it La Luce di Asmara?
I like the way you put it, your soul captured in this project karena beberapa orang yang udah datang ke instalasinya, kita ada instalasi juga di ICAD, Indonesian Contemporary Art and Design, masih sampai tanggal 26 November. Instalasi kita namanya La Stanza di Asmara, jadi the room of Asmara. Dan di situ ada 8 lampu yang di display dan beberapa orang yang udah ke sana dan datang melihat experience, mereka semua kayak, wah lu kalau jadi lampu emang begini sih.
Bener ya?
Bentuk lo kayak gini sih katanya gitu kalau dijadiin lampu kayak
Asmara Abigail jebret lampu ini nih lampunya nih ya, warna bentuknya gitu ya.
Jadi aku lumayan ketawa sih maksudnya dengar komen itu, karena komen itu ya exactly what we're trying to do gitu.
Yeah.
Oh ternyata sampai ya gitu ke audience gitu.
Yeah. Do you think venturing and trying out this new subsector gitu yang di luar acting and dancing yang agak jauh sedikit berbeda gitu ya, is a part of your debrief gitu setelah kerjaan-kerjaan project-project yang, karena I imagine being an actor atau being a dancer gitu, it takes a lot of your head space and a lot of emotions kan, it's so intense. Karena I feel like if you don't feel it yourself, your audience will not be able to feel it gitu kan.
Of course.
Jadi it's such a intense space that's being taken every time you work.
Secara waktu juga kan.
Benar, secara waktu, and I feel it's very physically draining, tapi emotionally even more.
Mentally juga.
Banget gitu kan. So I always wonder kayak for you guys gitu in that industry, what do you do after a project? Karena cukup nggak liburan gitu? Karena tadi kita ngobrol even Daniel Day-Lewis, dia bener-bener iya kan, jadi carpenter deh gue jadi shoemaker deh gitu kan. Tapi kalau you yourself gitu, what do you do after a
Aku
project?
tadi selain yang aku ngambil kelas-kelas gitu ya, aku antara kayak kelas nari atau kelas bahasa, aku juga seneng les bahasa. Sekarang aku lagi les piano juga gitu kan. Nah di sisi lain juga ngerjain creative project sama different type of artist. Itu juga memberikan angin segar lah ya.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Dan ini sesuatu yang baru banget buat aku, ibaratnya main ke kandang orang juga kan gitu. Tapi kemarin di iCat aku seneng banget kayak, oh main ke kandang orang tapi kok kayaknya they're welcome gitu.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I mean, Asmara, gue punya pertanyaan gitu. How important do you think is it for you gitu to view your work through a very critical lens gitu and reevaluate? Karena menurut gue us as creative ya, I don't know if you would relate, tapi aku pribadi misalnya, kita itu terjebak di industri kreatif di Jakarta yang selalu harus cepat gitu kan, cepat, terus apalagi projectnya belum selesai project satu, projectnya udah mulai lagi project, create gitu. Sometimes we don't have a lot of times to actually kayak reevaluate project yang kita udah beresin gitu, kayak was it good enough, could it be better gitu kan. Hal-hal itu kan sering banget nggak kita dapatkan gitu di habit kita. Menurut lo, how important is it for you?
Yeah, it's so important. Kayak maksudnya we're so busy, terus kayak we don't have time to reflect kan on our work. Terus kayak why we did that in the first place gitu. True. Atau kayak as an artist kayak you're busy making something, achieving your goals, tapi kayak you don't have time to get inspired gitu kan. Kadang-kadang
benar banget.
Maksudnya punya waktu aja cuman buat stay still baca buku tuh kayak susah banget.
True.
Kalau udah sampai rumah juga udah capek banget gitu kan. Sampai bingung sendiri kan kayak oh mesti datang yang mana ya gitu kan, secara scheduling dan lain-lain.
Of course.
Dan menurut aku penting banget sebenarnya kita we have to preserve our energy kan, kayak maksudnya
karena you need time to recharge juga gitu kan.
Betul.
In a bathtub just to me time,
with bath salt,
get some clarity gitu kan ya.
Karena kita kadang-kadang mikir itu tuh nggak sama pentingnya sama kita networking, padahal itu sama pentingnya.
Yeah, true.
Dan
when you are not at your best version kan, mau networking juga what are you presenting gitu kan.
Dan kita jadi kayak like you're walking zombie, ketemu orang banyak banget, terus juga you're not there sebenarnya gitu kan.
I mean, it could be a form of disrespect juga sih sebenarnya, kayak you're coming just for the sake of coming, tapi you're not entirely there. Okay, Asmara, I think that's the time we have. Yay. Last question. Boleh spill sedikit nggak, what can we expect from you in the near future nih, from an Asmara Abigail? Do you have a projects that you are launching soon? Maybe another lamp, I don't know, maybe another furnitures or or maybe another films?
In the near future, I have a new film, a feature film. Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Sebetulnya dari kita mulai syuting udah ada beberapa accounts in a file yang ngepost di Twitter. Jadi I think it's okay to say gitu.
Okay.
New film with Upi dan lawan mainnya Laura Basuki. Jadi kayak seneng banget punya kesempatan main untuk Mbak Upi karena juga ya I grew up with her films gitu kan. Dan to share this project with Laura Basuki kan. Maksudnya it's an honor gitu.
Has the shooting been completed?
Udah. Sekarang lagi post dan ya kita tunggu aja kapan beritanya.
Semoga lancar.
Aku suka banget sih project ini. Maksudnya sesuatu, aku rasa aku explore sesuatu yang baru dan maksudnya rambut aku juga di situ berubah. Jadi kayak dari fisik juga ada yang berubah gitu. Jadi kayak penasaran banget.
Yeah, how long was the shooting?
I think it's around one month.
month,
Mungkin sama preps kita ya, mungkin 2 bulan. Tapi ini skrip yang udah ditulis Upi lumayan lama. Jadi kayak ya it's her this baby. Is her baby.
It's her baby and you guys are there to support her baby. Again, it's okay as long as you're not stagnant. Tapi at the same time, as long as you do not forget to find clarity and self-reflect in your alone times. Yeah,
that's the most important.
Breathing exercise. We close the session with breathing exercise. Thank you so much, Asmara. It's always lovely to see you and especially to have you in this video series. Good luck for the movie.
Thank you so much.
Good luck also for the Lamp series. Semoga kejual dan cuannya luar biasa.
Itu juga
penting kan. Emoto importante. Benar. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good time this morning. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
A presto.
A presto. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.